Let's talk about discovery, because a lot of people get this confused. A lot of people overthink this. I want to simplify the process for you. When you are kicking off your sales calls as a closer, your main focus is to probe deep, not wide. When I say probe deep, not wide, I mean a lot of people get stuck in this cycle of asking questions just to ask questions. They're asking all of these background questions. They're asking all of this information, and they end up learning a little about a lot, when what you actually need to do is learn a lot about a little. What I mean by that is when they give you the problem, when they give you the challenge that they're facing, you want to know the who, what, where, when, why, how long. You want to know everything just about that problem. You don't need to start asking all of these other questions to gather this useless information, right? Like if I'm on with a business owner, I'll see people either in the role plays or on their live calls. The business owner might say that they're having a struggle with their leads. And then they start saying, okay, cool. Well, when did you start the business? Why did you get into business? And they start asking all of these questions. And then they wonder why people just cut them off and say, well, dude, so what's the price? What do you got? And they want to rush through the process because you're not talking about the things that matter. You're learning useless information. You're asking useless questions, and people they'll see you a lot more as an expert. They'll be a lot more willing to go through the conversation, and you'll learn a lot more about what actually matters if you just probe into that problem, which is if it's struggling with leads, why do they believe that leads are a problem? What is wrong with the actual leads? Where do they get their leads? What is the conversion rate of those leads? You're asking questions about just the leads. I want to know everything about this lead problem you brought up. I want to be almost an expert on everything there is to know about your struggle with leads and nothing else for the first 10, 15 minutes of the call. Then I want to know what leads you actually want to have. I want to know what the target is here. How many leads, what kind of leads, what happens when you get those leads. I want to be an expert on the goal and just that. And then we move on. A lot of people overcomplicate discovery by having these listed scripted questions that are irrelevant when they could just focus in on what is being said, let go of their script, let go of everything else but who's in front of you, what they're saying, actively listen, and focus in on making the prospect feel totally understood. If you do that, your discovery would be a lot easier. It would be a lot simpler, and you'll close a lot more deals. Discovery doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a script. You just need to listen and ask for clarification. I'm going to leave it there for this video.